do you think this is real life or we're all just in a book that someone's reading about
I hate when they say that shit. Because you're like, I don't know. I don't know.
She's like, you think someone's reading a book and we're just in it? And I was like, I don't know. What do you think? And she's like, yeah, but then...
0.5 running. Your kind's cunning. I know you're gunning. I am too. Blueprint of my exes, stupid but infectious, making me feel so reckless, got me in the mood. Can't hate the player, I gotta hate the game. Hurts me to think they're just one in the same. Thought you could take it and act with no doubt, but boy, you can't feed me what you won't eat out. And I don't need another bad lover. I'd rather do it all on my own. 1 minute 30, yeah, you did me dirty. Came too damn early and left in a hurry, no. And in and out, a screaming shout. All the dirty dogs take the same route. 1 minute 30, yeah, you did me dirty. I don't need another lover like you.
Hi, I'm Sarah. It doesn't matter.
And I make music.
Nailed it.
And I make
Music. Number one. Oh God, the second one was Okay, so the song is called 1:30. It's about something that lasted 1 minute and 30 seconds. The song is 1 minute and 30 seconds.
love it.
You can read between the lines, or you can just read the lines, and it's a bit obvious. But again, I did it with my roommate, and she is a producer and creates all these really cool beats, and some like random day just sent me one and was like, hey, I think you would fuck with this. Like, can I send it to you? Mm-hmm. So she sent it to me, and I was like, oh, what do I write about? What can I do with this? I don't know. I was like playing around with a bunch of stuff, and then my backstories are so shameful, but you know what? Whatever. I had like a friend came over, and it was like really on in quarantine where you were just like, I haven't seen anybody, and I've been bored. So we were not bored, but we weren't bored for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And he was like, oh, perfect timing. I'm going to go catch a train. And I was like, why do boys think they can do this? So I took the track my roommate sent me, and I was like, I know what we're writing about. And the fun thing about living with her is she literally texted me and was like, do you want to work on it right now? It was like very early in the morning. So we were just like in our pajamas and no pants and recorded the song. And she came up with like one of the most brilliant lines that I think ever I've heard, which is, did you hear that? She just said, I love you. She's here. But it was, boy, you can't feed me what you won't eat out. And it's just, every time I sing it, it's so funny. But yeah, it was kind of like a fun little kind of like joke play on words thing of like, in what world do like men think that like they can do this and then leave to catch a train, you know? So yeah, it's really fun. I think it's really fun too, because we were like, the produced version too is like a bop. Mm-hmm. But every time I've showed it to someone, they're like, why is it so short? And I'm like, well, look at how long it is. And it's 1 minute and 33 seconds. Mm-hmm. And I feel like my favorite music generally is music that sounds good and is like very well done, but also like is kind of a joke, you know? Where if you listen to it like clear enough and you hear the certain things, you're like, they're fucking me.
She got me there.
Yeah, like I feel like that's all my favorite, like where the lyrics are like clever and like you listen to it again and then like hear another thing, you know?
This is kind of random, but and I'm sure you feel this too, but do you ever go through phases where like it kind of pisses you off to listen to good music because you're like, ugh, like why can't I be like that, or like this is too good, I can't listen to it.
That is literally why I started singing. My sister was taking piano from this piano teacher and I went to a recital. So dumb. We went to a Christmas recital and they were singing some Christmas song. I don't even know. I think they were singing like Seasons of Love, which is not a Christmas song, but they were singing it at the Christmas recital.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and this like pit of envy hit me, you know, where I was like, oh, I want to be doing that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Mom. Yeah. And I feel like it was like, that's like such a weird drive, you know, is like you want that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you guys feel it. Yeah.
JJ, you do too?
I feel it. Oh, I feel it. Yo, Good Day by SZA. I sat there and I was like, that bitch. What the fuck?
Right?
You're too good.
How do you do that?
You're too good for the world. Every time I listen to your music, it's like,
I get it, I'm young. I get it, I'm simply some fun. I get it, don't act out of tune when I deal with my sins. I get it, and I'm playing into the cards that you had, that you withdrew. But get it, you're just as a part of, so don't blame me when you take it from your beloved. Mr. Question Mark, Sarasota Springs, Little Delta Dawn. I still don't know what it means, no. Mister, I forgot your name, I could pick you out of a crowd. You could have had your way with me, but your ego was too proud. So Mr. Man, was that your plan? Oh Mr. Man, no, you're not the man for me, no, no. Oh Mr. Man, was that your plan? No, Mr. Man. Oh, you're not the man for me, no, no. I feel it, you know. You know how to touch me to glow. You make me 1,000,000 feet tall, and I still dream about me between you and the wall. I see it, I swear. I hate all the scripts you prepare, but your writing's one-sided and tragic. But I got to flip for the dramatic. Mr. Question Mark, Sarasota Springs, Little Delta Dawn. I still don't know what it means, no. Mister, I forgot your name, I could pick you out of a crowd. You could have had your way with me, but your ego was too proud. So Mr. Man, was that your plan? Oh Mr. Man, no, you're not the man for me, no, no. Oh Mr. Man, was that your plan? Oh Mr. Man, oh, you're not the man for me, no, no. So Mr. Man, was that your plan? Oh Mr. Man, oh, you're not the man for me, no.
So, one of the songs is Mr. Man, which I am gonna have coming out hopefully in the next month, but knowing me, I am late always. But it is produced by Kaya Cohen, who is my roommate and also in an excellent band called Moonguest. And she's incredible. And the first female producer I worked with, which was a whole new experience, but I I wrote it about someone that I was seeing after a bad breakup. And I think because I was with the same person for a long time, I kind of was running out of a certain like drive to write music about it, because I was just like, I don't know what, like, I'm not going to stir up drama to write a song, you know?
But maybe.
but and then we broke up. No, I'm kidding. So I broke up with him and I was like, oh my God, perfect opportunity for some content. You know what's so funny? I guess this is kind of like back to the first song, so sorry if this is hard for editing. But I was talking to one of my friends about the lyrics that I write. And I've had like conversations with producers before where I'm really big on how words sound more than I am about the exact meaning.
Yeah.
So, like, Rhyme Zone is my best friend in the entire world.
That up too.
I'm literally teaching like a 8-year-old composition right now, and all I've been like is Rhyme Zone. We love Rhyme Zone. But with Mr. Man, there's a pre-chorus that the words are Mr. Question Mark, Sarasota Springs, Little Delta Dawn, I still don't know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed one of my friends it, and she was like, oh, like, what does this mean? Like, what is Delta Dawn? What is Sarasota Springs? And I was like, well, Sarasota Springs is fun to say. Delta Dawn is like some old gospel song that's like, Delta Dawn, you know? And she was like, well, why'd you put it in it? And I was like, I don't know what they mean. And she was like, why'd you put it in? And I was like, I don't know. I said I don't know what they mean in the song. Like, it's just like fun to say. And I feel like it also is like a very funny thing. There's like so many songs that I've put out when people like come up to me like after shows or like DM'd me about something where they're like, wow, like this part really spoke to this experience that I had this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is this what you meant? And I always have like the awkward like pause of like, yeah, you know, but I feel like that's kind of like what's so magical about everything in general is it's like that's the whole point of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it is about interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think I try and like stay more on vague things. But I think with like the stuff that I'm working on now, especially with producers where I'm like working with people,
Mm-hmm.
they're a bit more direct than I've ever done before. But I think it's also like kind of a cool exploration, just like for me in terms of like working with people and like actually fleshing out the meaning and stuff like that. But I do love to also just have like quippy shit that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then have people be like, oh my God, yes. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's fun.
I think I forgot how to smile without shaking. My muscles are moving like a marionette and losing myself inside somebody else. But the someone is slowly sinking into me. Just be good. No, be good. No, be good. Oh, be careful. If not careful, then bring me along. Be good. Oh, be careful. If not careful, then choose how we do wrong. Meticulous, and then let's sing this song. Moving more ways than I ought to be going, proving a point to an empty domain, and past predisposed paths that I am not taking. I know not to go, but now where do I head? Just be
number 3 is a song that I actually wrote right. It's super different. So it's like very much back to like kind of where I started in high school, which was very like acoustic, me and a piano, much more like soul-y kind of vibes. But I wrote it right around when I graduated college. And that phase of time had been so overwhelming because I mean, like I spoke at graduation, which was, I mean, like I blacked out. And then I spoke at the big new school graduation, which was at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Then I had a show the next day. So it was just like 3 of the most insane days anyways, but then I had my entire family in New York for the first time, and having a huge family that like carried a lot of weight, and it was really overwhelming. And I had been trying to like, you know, parse out my time so that I could see all my different family members and try and like also somehow be in the moment while also like stressing out about a show and a speech and all this other shit. And after the big new school graduation, I was supposed to go back to my mom's hotel, and we were like in an Uber home from Arthur Ashe, and we were kind of near my apartment, and I was like, I need to get out and I need to go home. Like I need just a second to myself. Because I remember doing the speech, and I was supposed to take a picture with one of my professors on the stage, and it was the first time it's ever happened, but I was supposed to like smile, you know, and my face was going like I couldn't smile. I was convinced that my face was like just like moving. And I'd never had that kind of like panic reaction before, or like stress reaction. And I just like hit this point where I was like, I'm so out of body that I can't even control my body. And I need to just like be home and be alone. And the second that I got home, I was like, I need to just play piano and just like soothe myself. And I had been thinking about how much of like a marionette I felt like. And so I was like, how do I put this into words in a way that's like telling me that I'm okay? And my very adorable old German grandmother was there, and she would always say like, Sarah, be good. And I would be like, oh, what if I don't want to be good? And she was like, then be careful. And I was like, okay. So I took that and I made it into this whole song that like still to me is like a really soothing, it's kind of like it feels to me more like kind of like a lullaby I can sing to myself. And yeah, so the chorus for that is like, be good or be careful. If not careful, then bring me along. But yeah, it was kind of just like an ode to, you know, my time ending where it was, and kind of like the shock of those experiences. But it also was kind of like what Mr. Man felt like, but in a very different way of like, it was one of the first times in a long time I was able to like sit down and like feel the thing, you know, like, you know, when you're writing something and you get like maybe a line or you get like a chord progression or something where you're just like, got it, you know, and you're like, I'm gonna run with this, I'm gonna do, and then like you write even for like 15 minutes, but when you leave, you're like, it's going in your head over and over and over, and you're like excited about it. So yeah, I went home and I took like 20 minutes and I wrote this whole song, and then I went to dinner with my family, and I was like, I'm okay now, like I can do this now, because like I've had my time to just like,
yeah, take a breath.
Oh, yeah.
Write a song.
Yeah.
NBD. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the third one. I think I honestly started I think I like started with songwriting. I feel like it's so bitter, but I think I like really wanted to probably convey bitterness towards like my family members that I didn't know how to, unless I was like, I'm gonna sing a song about you. So I started with that. I still remember the first song that I like really wrote. It was so bad, but I was just like, I want to make my mom know I'm mad at her. And literally, Mom, I'm mad at you. Yeah, and then I just like really remember really liking playing piano.
Mm-hmm.
And like even in high school, I remember like I would get lunch and then like bring it back to the school, and I would hide in the orchestra room, and I would lock the door, and I would just play piano, and I would like put all the blinds down. And I think it was like such a like escapist thing from like any high school dynamic that like causes like social anxiety and all that other shit. I was like, I would rather just like make nice sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I do want to make this statement because there's people watching this, but we all went to high school together.
We all went to high school together.
We know each other. We know things about.
I think.
And JJ and I were on a award-winning show together back in the day.
That's true.
Yeah. But I think that was also like, I feel like high school also, because there were like people that were interested in music, like Claire, you know, like we worked on stuff together and that was really fun. I remember when we started like doing more like harmony stuff and what was it, Blue Eyes Blind?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just like really fun to kind of realize that like there was a way to collaborate with people and like share that experience of like the thing you feel when you're writing a good song.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a big part of it. But I've also always kind of just, I just like write a lot anyways, you know, like I have like, I got notifications on my phone today that my storage is too full, and like my notes app is a huge part of that, and my voice memos app.
Me too.
Yeah, right. It's like the token sign.
I literally just had to like delete all the photos because
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's always kind of just been like a convenient little release that became more and more prominent in terms of like how much it impacted me. And then like moving to New York, also like being so far from my family and all that stuff, it really provided like such like a sense of comfort and consistency and reliability and all that stuff. And I think I've kind of, since graduating, and I think the last few years of college too, I kind of was stepping farther away from it. And then in like during quarantine, it's been like a really good reminder of just like that I can do it with like, I mean, I have like a shitty Casio I bought at a thrift store for $20. It literally has a DJ setting. Ready? DJ. DJ. I used to do shows with it, and I would like ask the audience for a number and then plug it in and then just like do it on that setting. So we did like a super upbeat song one time with like the choir setting.
That's a good idea. That's funny.
Yeah, except for I almost blew out a venue speaker once, so stop doing that. But yeah, I think like it, and like having a band and working with music again, it has been like a good kind of like reminder of like where I started with it and why it meant so much to me at that point.
That was really good.
I think, is there anything else we need to? Sometimes we have people like slap themselves and say slap shack. You don't have to.
Wow, I've been working with first graders all week, so I've gotten really good at fake injuring myself for their entertainment.
Well, you should try it first.
Okay.
Ah! That was way too sexual of a sound. Hang on. Ready? Slap. Shack.
Ooh, that was a good one. Got it.
Was it? Come on in the shack. We make some slaps. Come to the slap shack. We'll feature your music. Come on in the shack. We make some slaps. Get your slaps on the slap shouldn't today. Slap shack.